And now if I look through my camera view, I'm turn off wireframe mode. And I'm also going to turn on motion blur here and anti-aliasing. Those are all going to just enhance the image a bit. So we can still see our camera and our ground plane and everything, and we don't want that in this image here. So we can adjust what we see in our viewport under the Show tab. So I can turn off polygons, and that's going to not show any of the polygons. Now we're just looking at the image plane in the background. So I actually only want to show polygons. So what I'm going to do is hit none, so nothing is showing. And now I want to show polygons, and so now I'm only looking at the polygons. So we don't see the camera. We do still see the grid, and we can turn that off right here. So let's watch this. That's great. I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm ready to render this out. And we're not going to be doing full 3D renders that are simulated. We're just going to be exporting out what we see in this viewport here. And the way to do that is with a Playblast. So if you right click on your timeline and you go to the options box on Playblast, I'll reset my settings here. So we want to change this to image, JPEG, display size, let's do custom, and we'll do it in 1920 by 1080. We'll set the scale to 1, and we'll save to file. Check that box. You want to choose where you save it to. Let me just find this again. I'll create a new folder called Playblast. This is actually my second version, so it's V2. And pick your name, playblast.v2.jpg. And what I actually want to do is I don't want to include this gray space, and it's going to be included in my render. So just before I hit Playblast, I'm going to turn off the gray, and I'm also going to turn off the resolution gate. So now I hit Playblast, and it's going to render out our image sequence. And so the last step is just to convert your image sequence into a video that you can watch, like an MP4. And so go ahead and open up Media Encoder, and that's what we'll use to convert our image sequence into an MP4. So once your Playblast is done and Media Encoder is open, just double click in Media Encoder, navigate to your Playblast, select the first frame, make sure JPEG file sequence is selected, and hit open. Your settings, you want to make sure it's H.264, that's going to be the MP4 file type. High bitrate is good, and this is where you select where to export to. So if you could name it with your name, the project title, which is projection map, and the version number. For me, it's version 2. And a lot of people like to put final, but I don't advise that, because if there's a version after that, then you're going to have to name it final final or final v2. So I always just add the next number to the version number. So that goes pretty quick, and now we have a video that we can watch of our animation. Alright, thanks everyone. I hope that was clear enough, and please reach out if you have any questions.